Yo, 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 yo. What the fuck is up, fight fans? It's your man 3K the Boss, aka Mr. Two Hands Up. Fah Fah, you already know what it is. It's the flossy bossy, baby. You know what I'm saying? Back at it once again. Helly Hansen on my back, champion slippers on my feet. I swear to God, I'm a carnivorous predator and I'm out for red meat. So who won it? Because I'm cutting up all the beef. Straight like that. Chris Price was goody. George the Last Patriot, salute to you, sir. Miguel Moica, what's popping with the bro? Man, listen. Jeff, what's goody, man? Yeah, y'all fall in here because oh yeah. I'm about to hurt feelings tonight. I'm about to hurt feelings tonight. I've been ruffling feathers all damn day. Bunch of ducks. I've been ruffling the feathers of these mallard ducks all day. I'm just saying I can play too. I let y'all I let y'all have, the comment section because a wise person once said to me that, there's power in silence. You know, even when you lend people the facts, they still gonna be blind to it. That's why the title of this thing is I could lead a horse to water, but I can't make them drink it. I could show you the money, but I still can't make you think rich. And basically, what I mean by that, metaphorically speaking, is no matter if you put the facts, no matter how you lay out the facts, the world we live in right now, in the favoritism that showed, people will only see what they want to see. They have very selective hearing. I mean, on the level, oh my God, the hearing is so selective. And oh my God, the truth, they monster neglected. They only hang on to what ruffles their feathers. Well, guess what? Let's go ahead and do it then. Let's go ahead and do it then. You know. So let's go ahead and get to it. Brian Harkin, what's good? He said, yo, two hands, it's not fair for the current 168-pound fighters to fight Canelo. Oh, is that so? Interesting. Interesting. I guess, when it comes down to it, it's unfair to ask Canelo, speaking quoting Eddie Reynoso in February of 2021, it's unfair to ask Canelo Alvarez to fight at 175 pounds. And then to quote Canelo in March of 2021, it is unfair to ask Canelo. It's people only want to see Canelo fight. They only want to see Canelo. These are out of his words. This is out of Canelo's mouth. March of 2021. They only want to see me fight at 175 because they want me to lose. Now, considering that this is March of 2021 and Eddie Reynoso is speaking on February of 2021, and both of these articles, I would have to ask you, gentlemen, when did Canelo Alvarez fight Sergey Kovalev? And what weight class is Sergey Kovalev in? I'll wait. I got time. I got time. I'm gonna jog y'all through this. I got time. Spartan, what's goody? Oh, I know you joking, Brian. That's why I went straight in. Because I already know what I already know. You already know I know you. I know the ones who really know me and understand me. That's the difference. See, when new kids is on the block, when new kids are on the block, they come through. Because let's be serious here. There was a point in time where Duce wasn't putting out no content. Now I'm back to putting out content, the subscriber numbers is growing, people are seeing certain things. So a lot of new guys coming around, they liking the content, they rocking with the Reapers. And that's all good. But as soon as they hear something they don't like to hear, man, we got panties all twisted up in a bunch, baby. Somebody go grab a deuce for these menstrual males. Somebody go grab a deuce for all these menstrual males. Talk to me nice. So, as it stated right here, I believe Brian Harkin is answering my question saying that he fought Sergey Kovalev, and I do believe Sergey Kovalev was on the twilight age of 37, 38 years old after he just almost got knocked out by Anthony Yarde in 2019. But as the article stated, in the video that I put out, and I laid out all of my facts, what did Eddie Reynoso say? What did Canelo say? It is unfair of us to see Canelo fight at 175 pounds, correct? In 2021. It is unfair of us It is absolutely unfair for to see Canelo fight at 175 because we just want him to lose. But where is Canelo's next title fight going to be? And when did he fight Sergey Kovalev? Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold it down. I just dissed you. I'm making points here, and I'm pointing to the contradiction. Which way y'all want to point, left or right? Do y'all want to go back and forth? Do y'all want to go in time and deal with some nostalgia, or y'all want to deal with the future or talk the right now? So, if you fought at 175 in 2019, who is left at 175 pounds where you would say that we only want you to fight at 175 pounds because we want you to lose, but you're going up to cruiserweight to fight Ilunga Mukabu? And hey, you guys remember that interview when, Demetrius Andre was being respectful and he couldn't hear him properly because, his English ain't the best, and I guess his ears had a little bit of, wax in it, or maybe he blew out an eardrum fucking with Billy Ho Saunders. Who knows? Do you guys understand that this man called Demetrius Andre boring and said, what has Demetrius Andre done in his career? But how many titles does Ilunga Mukabu have? How did Ilunga Mukabu get his title? Was it vacant? Oh, my bad. So Demetrius Andre is born, but Ilunga Mukabu isn't. Okay, 175, we want you to lose there. And according to Mr. Reynoso, it's unfair for us to ask him to fight at 175, but then at the end of the year, you go to the WBC convention and you go to Mauricio Suleiman and you request to fight Ilunga Mukabu, and he still hasn't even had his mandatory fight yet with Barboso. And when is that? That is supposed to be January 29th. So what is all of this blanketed security? Is Eddie Reynoso the fire blanket? Is he? And what is Eddie Reynoso? I mean, excuse me, what is Mauricio Suleiman? What point is he playing in all of this? Hey man, gotta protect the goodies of that good old cinnamon coochie. So when I make a video and I state the things that I state, all of a sudden now I'm a bigot. Now I'm a racist. I'm all of these things. But see, it's okay when we speak on these issues. How many times have I tackled the African-American diaspora? How many times have I tackled the PBC? How many times have I talked about the Chitlin circuit on Reaper Gang Radio? How many times have I talked about the Amistad? How many times have I talked about the PBC sinking ship way before we even became Reaper Gang Radio? And the inception of Mr. Two Hands Up. I mean, look, if anybody who's been around here for a while, I'm sure they could tell you. Shout out to George with the $2 super chat. He says, who wants to see Canelo versus Usyk? I would love to see that fight. But apparently, we would never see it. You want to know why we would never see it, George? Because, as Eddie Reynoso said, there is no chance in seven hells that they would ever fight Alexander Usyk. There is no chance in seven hells that they would ever fight Alexander Usyk. You know, the guy who was the cruiserweight undisputed champion, who was a natural cruiserweight, who is a smaller heavyweight, who is going up there, really doing big things, really taking on the comp, and really not picking and choosing. Hey, man, is it going to be the cab guy next week? Hold up. Is it going to be the bakery store clerk next week? Hold up. Absolutely, Brian. I'm an equal opportunity, equal equality killer. But hey, guess what? In the comment sections, according to Big Chocolate, yuck, I want to chop my tongue out of my mouth for just even saying that. I'm a bigot. I'm mad that the Latinos are getting their turn. Now, I would ask you gentlemen who have been around me for a while, who've been around Reaper Gang Radio, Mr. Two Hands Up, how often do I talk about Canelo since I'm such a clout chaser? I don't ever really mention that guy, do I? Only when it's his turn. But hey, this is all about clout. This isn't about the fact that, we want to see him lose at 175. That's why we want him to go there, but he's going up the cruiser, right? Hey, that video I just did on Canelo, it was all about Demetrius Andre, correct? even though it was only one clip in there about Demetrius Andre, and I don't even believe that I ever mentioned his name again, correct? I mean, hold up. Tell a bitch nigga, hold up. Because we're going to have fun with this. We are really, really going to have fun with this. So now I make one video. I point out the toxicity of the Latino community. I point out the toxicity of the Manny Pacquiao fans. Those are bigots, because I do make it a point to separate those who are real from those who have a really distorted, ignorant point of view. I've always done it. I've always done it. As a matter of fact, you could probably say, and you can make a strong claim that I attack the ignorance of my own kind more than I attack the ignorance of other people. These are facts. But hey, as soon as you mention Canelo's name, everybody's a hater. Nobody wants to see him win. Oh my God. What is this world we're living in? When a guy literally contradicts himself at every turn, and I can pull up every article and show you every bit of the contradictions. Yo, hold up. Hey, yo, when y'all see them spams come in and stuff like that, block them shits. Block them permanently, because they've been coming in a lot. Please. I just lost my spot. What the hell did I just say? You know, yeah, facts. I barely talk about Canelo. I barely interject in conversations about other races. I barely say anything about other people's race. But one thing I noticed is I see certain individuals, certain ignorant people getting a lot of enjoyment about when I talk about mine. I deal with a lot of toxicity when it comes to theirs. But it's all good. It's all good when you're praising it. See, the world we live in right now, everybody wants you to agree with the fact that they believe that Canelo is this guy, but he's never proved it. He's fallen short in all of his biggest moments, but people are going to say, nah, two hands. That's not true. But let's speak to the facts here. When he fought Callum Smith, was Callum Smith just not in a controversial, decision when it came to John Ryder, when we all know he lost that John Ryder fight? Then what does Canelo do? He pulls up, gives him payday on a 5-week notice. Then, when we speak of, hold up. Who else? It was John Ryder, the John Ryder win. Then, not to mention, Anthony Yard. When he fought Sergey Kovalev and he almost knocked him out, what did Canelo do? He pulled up. He gave him payday. Then what did he do? He dropped the WBO title at 175. Now, hey, it's unfair of us. Get it? Reaper Gang, it is absolutely unfair of us to ever think that Canelo should be fighting at 175 pounds when he just did it 2 years before that. Imagine that. Now, let's not even talk about the 5 catch weights. Let's not even talk about the fact that when he was at 154 pounds, and that was the only part about Demetrius Andre that I threw in there. And let's not even talk about the September or October article that Boxing News 24 put out about the fact that it is a fact that Canelo is ducking Demetrius Andre. But see, we don't even have to stay there, because there are so many other things that we can attack here. We don't even have to really mention Andre. But let's bring up the fact that he chose to fight a non-champion in James Kirkland at 155-pound catch weight when the dude has been off 2 years. Am I lying, or is this facts? So this great champion, this multi-weight great champion that everybody speaks of, right? He chooses to fight James Kirkland, who's been off for 2 years, instead of fighting a champion. What has James Kirkland done at that time? I'll wait. I will wait. See, they just don't like to hear it. And then when you tell them the truth of it, because look, I don't have the time to type every single person in there. And most of the time when I do type individuals in comments, because y'all know I don't raid comments like that. When I see the ones come in from the gang, I make sure I respond. I make sure I acknowledge it. And that's that. The ignorance, I leave the ignorance where ignorant people are. Now, look, clowns do clown shit. So if I was to entertain that clown shit with a level of ignorance, with blowing my top and not even, taking the time to think about what I'm saying or not even speaking with the facts, what does that make me? That makes me a clown as well. And I'm sorry, I'm not here to play Ronald McDonald or Gonzo with anybody because I just don't want to be a part of that circus. Because if you individuals are too stupid to acknowledge any of the points that I've made in the video and can't even give me credit on that it's not based out of a gut feeling, that it's not based out of an emotional rant, that is simply and solely based off of the facts from the front to the back, from the back to the front, from the middle to the side, from however Quentin Tarantino directed shit. We can start it from the middle to the front, from the front to the end. All of that shit correlates. Period. I ain't just jumping out the window just saying shit, and that's what scares them the most. So what do? They go in their little punk ass little man bags, and then they get on their little cell phones. They get to tweeting. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like they pussy senses get to tingling. Oh, to somebody talking about Canelo, I gotta go rescue him. So if I'm a clout chaser and I'm doing this for clout, when I'm speaking on Canelo Alvarez, then what are you doing it for? Because if people were real about the situation, then you would really acknowledge the fact that, hey, man, he's a flip-flopping dude, and you would have to acknowledge the fact that this man picks and chooses, bro. He does. Clearly, he's scared of whatever is at 175. Clearly, he's scared of whatever is at 168. And clearly, those who are fans of him, you consistently give him passes, but you're hard on all of the other individuals, and you want him to jump through hell with gasoline drawers on, while Macabre can just sit back and, hello. I find it funny. They reaching all the way in the man bag, but they want to be dismissive of what the real really is. I mean, damn. Am I lying here? He fell short against Floyd. What did the world say? Oh, Floyd tried to take advantage of a kid that already had 40 plus fights? Okay. See, it's cool when everybody attacks Floyd. It's cool when everybody attacks every other individual. But as soon as you mention the name Canelo, oh, man, you're doing something wrong. But all I would have to say is, hey, show me where I'm lying. Show me where I'm lying about the fact that of anything that I said today. And if I'm a racist, god damn, I really fucking suck at it. Reaper Gang, if I'm a racist, I mean, like, truthfully and honestly and wholeheartedly, I mean, I really, really fucking suck at it. Somebody help me with my bigotry. I need help with my bigotry. I need help with my Clayton Bigham-isms. I really do. I need help with my Clayton Bigham-isms. Can somebody help me, please? Because if anything, I must be the black white supremacist, because I've jumped on more people on my side than I've jumped on their side and any other side of the shore. So somebody please help me with my bigotry. Somebody please help me with my Clayton Bigham-isms. Jesus Christ. I find it hilarious. So he can't fight Usyk. It's unfair for him to fight at 100, ask him to fight at 175. He feels as though we only want him to fight at 175 because he's going to lose. But hey, man, all within the same breath, he's waiting to fight a cruiserweight. God damn, man. God damn. One thing I've always stood firm on is honesty and integrity in this thing. And one thing I've never done when it comes to this whole internet, this whole YouTube, social media shit, is I've never played a character. I came in with the same integrity that I had, and I'm going to leave with that same integrity. I came in standing on honesty and making sure that I display the facts and making sure that I take my time before I put these videos out, and I address anything that has to do with Canelo. I address anything that has to do with Deontay Wilder or anybody else out there. God damn it, I must be a fucking hater of my own people, because I completely slaughtered Deontay Wilder for at least a couple of years straight. Everybody was happy when I was doing that. What happened? One sign of mentioning, Latino fighters, now I'm a racist. But hey, it's cool. You know, this is the greatest channel in the world when we're bashing Wilder. This is the greatest channel in the world when we're bashing Arrow. This is the greatest channel in the world when we're challenging Terrence Crawford. This is the greatest channel in the world when we're doing all other things but mentioning all of the bullshit that goes on the Latino side of the boxing spectrum. If I'm that guy, then guess what? I'll be it, and I'll walk in it proudly because I can tell you what, I will chew your motherfucking ass up if you think it's all feelings. Because you just can't deny what it really is. See, the thing is, when people say certain things about certain people, and then, you know, they visibly bring it to life, and it's evident that they've brought it and they've put it in your face, it literally becomes poetry in motion, then what the fuck is the problem here? The problem is you guys don't want to see what's really right in front of your face. And as long as you can continue to go on this phony, fake-ass ride, and y'all can continue to see this man do the most Charlie cherry-picking this shit, everybody is going to be happy about what he's doing. But see, we can talk about Floyd and the catch weight, but goddamn, Canelo got 5 of them shits. 5. And then if you think about the 5 catch weights that he has, think about the names that they're against. A guy who was out the ring 2 years instead of fighting Andre, what happened? Amir Khan? Who else? Alfredo Angulo? Eris Landry Lara, and he still beat you, even though he robbed him on the cards? Need I say more? See, look, the problem really is here. You're comfortable with your level of bigotry. And anytime that somebody, you know, interferes with, you know, you kicking your feet up and being the biggest that you are, it ruffles your feathers. You want to be the only hater in the room. You only want your perspective to matter. You want your truth to be the bottom line. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. And as long as I'm alive and as long as I'm breathing, I'm always going to challenge the status quo. I'm always going to make people stand on what they should stand on. And y'all should too. Because if we exist in the world of boxing where we only going to sit here and cater to the fuckery, the fanboys, and how everybody feels, then how are we ever going to have a match? How are we ever going to be able to really identify what real competition really is? I'll wait. How are we going to identify what real competition really is if we're all just going on for a ride, sucking on cinnamon sticks, you know what I'm saying, waving green and white and red flags, just pretending to be blind to everything that's going on in front of us? You know, let's completely forget about, you know, Canelo's problem, but people want to bring up, you know, oh yeah, that's another thing too. As soon as I mentioned Floyd Mayweather's name, they did exactly what I thought they were going to do. They go to the freaking IV solution shit. I'm perfectly comfortable with that because if anybody's here before, who was the steroid question one on? Who did I first talk about steroids? And who did I defend because everybody else was pretty much acting like he was the only one? Who? Floyd Mayweather. But then when I dropped the steroid question 2 on Manny Pacquiao, what does everybody do? They got their panties in a bunch. All the evidence in the world, people got their panties in a bunch. But hey, man, shout out to, you know, Manny and all the things that he do. I'm a very big fan of Manny, but I mean, look, man, the facts are the facts. I'm just sorry that you don't want to live in it. And then people still try to argue certain issues of the day. The fact of the matter is you just couldn't handle that he's better than you bunch of racist fucks. You just couldn't handle that the black man was better than you or something. You couldn't handle it. And I'm not speaking to those who aren't like that. You know who I'm talking to. It was burning you up inside. The fact that every red, green, and white flag waved down that ring, he tore their ass up. And more it made you bitter over all of those years. So anything that he did and everything that he did, you criticize him. But one thing about him you cannot say is he's a superior ATG. Superior defense, superior offense. And I would have any argument with anybody. Look, how many motherfuckers is going to beat Floyd at 135 to 140 pounds? I'm talking about pretty boy Floyd. So yeah, I bet you'd shut the fuck up real quick then, won't you? I'm just saying. So at the end of the day, look, man, perspectives are perspectives. Opinions are like assholes, and everybody got one. And I don't hate on yours. And it's perfectly okay for you to hate on mine. But when you start calling me a racist, that's when it becomes a completely different thing. But let me read these comments because I'm sure you guys got a lot of great things to say, and I would love to rebuttal off of that shit. Don't let the motherfuckers tell you how to regulate. Salute, Virtuoso. You already know, man. I would never let these dudes do that. And that's why I made it a point, because I had to focus on other things the majority of last year. So I make it a point. 2022, we going all in. And feelings need to be hurt in boxing, because for a long time, you know, people have been going too long cradling and coddling feelings of people who are truly inferior to a lot of the individuals walking around with superior skill sets. Nobody understands that boxing is a complete fucking version of opposite day right now. We don't want to herald the tough guys. We want to herald the wrestlers. We don't care about who's really that great of a fighter, who's climbing up. And now we've gotten to a point in boxing to where a challenger can't challenge a champion. I thought the whole purpose of boxing was to chase greatness, not to question a person who wants to chase the throne, not to question him and try to send him in every other fucking angle on a triangle theory that fits your little fucking fancy fucking man bag having ass ego, little dushy ass bitches. It was supposed to be made for those who wanted to be great and achieve something. If you're a boxer, what are you in it for? If you're a football player, what are you in it for? If you're a basketball player, what are you in it for? If you're a European soccer player, what are you in it for? If you're a racer, what are you in it for? Everybody's in it for the cups. Everybody does it for the rings and the shiny motherfucking things. So we questioning that? And we want to play racquetball with that? Wow. How far have you goofy fucks have fallen? I'm disgusted. But hey, look, I'm more than happy. I'm more than happy to sit up here and do this with you guys every day, because if I affect you that much with my opinion, and I got people leaving 5 to freaking 10 comments back to back to back to back, wham, whole bunch of crying and fucking diuretic shitting. I'm cool with that. I just see how emotional you are. But another thing a wise man said, you never argue with a fool, because from a distance you can't tell who's who. Oh yeah, we dropping motherfucking dimes like Sprint commercials today. Fuck what they talking about. Salute George with the super chat. He says, all fighters have asterisks, but the big problem is that people try to use this fact as an excuse every time someone criticizes Canelo. Absolutely. When it comes to Canelo, everybody needs to go on this amazing journey and do all of these other things except fight Canelo. But when it comes to Bud Crawford, he needs to fight this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy to be great. Multi-weight world champion, but let's forget about all of that. Let's like, and it doesn't even have to be those issues. If we just stick to what it said, if we just stick to the facts and the things that this fool has said out of his mouth, Demetrius Andrade is boring. He will never get the fight. So I'm here to ask you, and any one of you that are in this room right now, how many of you knew Ilunga Mukabu? I mean, I'm sure a few of you did, but how many people really knew Ilunga Mukabu out here, and who's really going to sell more here? Is Demetrius Andrade going to sell more tickets or with Ilunga Mukabu? And who's more accomplished out the two? I'll wait. Dimitri Bivol there. You know, look, I'm telling you, it's exactly what it seems like, because if you just won all of the titles at 168 and then Sam Lekowitz goes down to the WBC convention and petitions to try to be the 168 the 168-pound mandatory for Canelo Alvarez's belt, and then you immediately jump into trying to request a fight with Ilunga Mukabu, what does that tell you? If he's telling you guys that Demetrius Andrade is boring, if he's telling us in articles that we only want to see him lose at 175 pounds, if Eddie Reynoso is telling us in articles that it is unfair for him to fight at 175 pounds in 2021 after he was there in 2019, and they're saying they wouldn't fight freaking Mukabu, people don't even want him to see a Coley, but he's a cruiserweight as well. So what are we talking about here? So do you guys think that he's not freaking trying to protect himself from David Benavidez? Because I do believe that when that name was brought up, he said he wouldn't fight Mexicans. The fuck, the what? You want to know why I love Julio Cesar Chavez so much, and you want to know why Julio Cesar Chavez will always be cut of more of the things than Canelo was ever cut from? Because no matter what disadvantages Julio Cesar Chavez had or not, he wasn't going to waver from fighting a Pernell Whitaker. He wasn't going to waver from fighting a Meldrick Taylor. He wasn't going to waver from fighting a Oscar De La Hoya. Tell me I'm lying. Regardless of what the situation is or whatever the circumstances are, whatever the judges do after that, that ain't on Julio. But he's going to take those styles and knowing that he is way outside of his element as far as footwork, as far as hand speed, et cetera, and certain levels of IQ, because certain guys do things on such a superior level that come off so fucking awkward, bro, it'll make your fucking head spin. Julio was willing to go in those situations with no freaking problem. But when it comes to Canelo, and as soon as the going gets tough, what does he do? Throw his hands up in the middle of the ring, petition the freaking crowd to start freaking screaming like, Arias Landry is running away from him while he's texting that ass the entirety of the fight? Right or wrong? Look stupid, throw his hands up, get frustrated, try to body slam the man. These are all facts. You fucking procrastinated and dragged your legs as long as you could to try to not fight Triple G. But you knew you had to do that shit, and we seen why you did it. So when people sit up here and they get gassed off of Callum Smith, Avani Yildirim, who has Caleb Plant fought? And let's be honest here. In that fight that Caleb Plant was, a lot of people had Caleb Plant neck and neck with him in that fight until the knockout and felt as though he was in risk of losing what? A guy who's going 12 rounds with every individual that he's fucking ever fought. A guy who goes around with 12 rounds with tracks. A guy who's fighting guys like Mike Lee, Vincent Feigen Boots. I understand that's your freaking mandatory, but you won your freaking title off of who? And you called him a boogeyman. Jose Takagi? Jose Oops, I'm sorry? Man, I'm gonna light y'all motherfuckers ass up tonight. Pause. Y'all fucking with the right one. Yeah. Ain't no holy grail in boxing. These are facts. Canelo is what Danny Garcia wishes to be. A cherry-picking future ATG. That's what I'm saying, bro. And it's like, the myth of Danny Garcia carried around for quite some time because Danny Garcia was doing exactly the same thing that Canelo was doing. Look at Canelo's career and look at the fighters that he fought. They all over the hill. Or they all got significant freaking language gaps in their career of inactivity. Huh? What? And they damn sure can't Hollywood shuffle. They can't move. Hey, they can't move. And they damn sure can't punch. And they damn sure can't press the issue. And this is the thing. We can't sit up here and act like Canelo isn't a talent because he is. But if you're supposed to be the top dog in boxing and you doing all of this picking and choosing and switching heels and posturing and fucking man bag moving, motherfucker, we gotta really see something. And the entirety of your career, you showed us nothing. And when it really came to those real dog fights, you lost. So the questions come from the dudes that you're fighting. Look, man, I say it all the time. Who did Charlo win his IBF title off of? Yep. That guy was a champion. Wow, I'm shocked. Shit. No disrespect to Ishe Smith, but shit, he was a champion. So just because you're a champion, it don't make you great. It just makes you a champion. There are plenty of guys out here that are champions that don't mean that they're great. When you are a fighter and you're supposed to be of a certain caliber, we expect certain things of you. And when you don't deliver that, look, in boxing, there is supposed to be a level of questioning and it heightens to a certain level of pressure where you start to feel a little claustrophobic, buddy. It becomes a little hard to breathe in these rooms because we're going to apply that pressure. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yo, I always try to figure out what the fuck my calling was in life, yo. I ran the streets. I did a bunch of knucklehead shit. I done had to serve time for certain shit. I done did a whole bunch of wild shit. But when it comes to this boxing shit, I'm starting to feel like I feel the power. I feel like this is what I'm supposed to do because I'm going to do all of the shit that these other motherfuckers ain't willing to do. Shout out to Juju because he willing to do it. Shout out to Bruce. You might not like a lot of his stances, but on a lot and some levels, he's willing to do it, whether you like the way he kicks it or you don't kick it. Yeah, there's a lot of truth there. The problem is you just don't want to identify it and you want to live in the dark. You guys have been living in the dark the entirety of the time. You can't see shit. You're running around in rooms. You're just happy with however the fuck it goes. And when the lights come on and you see that the whole fucking house, you see that the whole house that has been built off greatness and boxing is completely in shambles because you let cinnamon and sugar run through that shit and just fuck up the whole game, hoodwink the shit, and never really do shit to motherfucking get all of these type of ATG titles and shit that people want to rest on them and motherfuckers say that they winning and doing all this shit. How the fuck do I know this motherfucker is winning if he ain't never motherfucking took the time to show me that he's a winner? How? I define a winner differently than other people define winners. Once again, we always go back to the deeds, man. It always goes back to the deeds, you feel me? Ortiz versus Martin was a stinking pair of bums on pay-per-view at $39.99. And James, hope you caught the video because I ripped them boys to shit. I think I would consider, yeah, I guess y'all can consider what I did earlier clickbait, right? That would be considered clickbait because I said it was, fight of the year, some shit like that. But I mean, understandably so. If anybody understands who I am, you guys already know. You already fucking know. You already know that I didn't mean that shit. So therefore, I don't know. Would you consider it clickbait? Fuck it. If it's clickbait, it's clickbait. When I see the green belt, I think of corruption. That's the impact of Canelo has left for me. Hey, and it's funny that nobody wants to acknowledge the corruption. Nobody wants to acknowledge the fact that Mauricio Suleiman came out and who accepted the franchise belt first? Who wanted the franchise belt first? Who wanted I call it the Kevin Costner belt. Who wanted the Kevin Costner belt wrap it around their waist and they play Whitney? Huh? Huh? Who wanted to play Whitney Houston while they wrap that Kevin Costner around their waist? Ugh. Big tongue up out their mouth like they nasty. Disgusting. Straight shitting on the sport. Bodyguard tactics from every direction. Y'all got Mauricio out this joint trying to play Matrix, trying to play fucking Keanu Reeves in the new Matrix Resurrection movie while he's playing beta male, just sitting there slow motion blocking all the fucking shots. The real dogs would be the shots. Hey, Canelo wanted to be the fucking franchise champion first. And I try to tell people all the time because here on this channel, we give Canelo his praise and we lend him his criticism as well. But see, within that, I always challenge y'all when I'm like, yo, when y'all listen to these dudes, do they ever criticize them? Huh? When y'all listen to certain dudes and they talk about this guy, have they ever talked about his shortcomings or they always praised his highs and they never got low with him? When I speak on Anthony Joshua, do I always praise his highs or have I ever gotten on his level and gotten low with him? When it, you know what I'm saying, when he was in motherfucking those dark times. And I didn't, and I lended the proper critique. Because here's the thing, if you always going to lie to a motherfucker, and the motherfucker ain't never going to level up. If Anthony Joshua ever heard me, I would want him to hear the real me. And letting me know like, yo, I fuck with you. You're moving right. But look, bro, there's certain things you got to do because ain't nobody going to tell you because they all bought. They all a part of the machine. And one thing y'all never got to worry about on Reaper Gang Radio is us being a part of the motherfucking machine because we rage against that shit. On God. So if you always hearing about the lies and the highs and you're never hearing about the lows, you in the wrong motherfucking place. if everybody's above criticism, you in the wrong place. If this dude is just over the top great Canelo and he ain't got no chinks in his armor, or he ain't never did no shaky shit, according to them, you in the wrong place. And it's not my place to say if you're in the right place or not when you're dealing with me. That's the choice that you have to make on your own, because I'm no fucking megalomaniac and I'm damn sure not a narcissist. I don't exist in those worlds. I like balance. Let me see what's going on. My nigga 1-2 Kid, what's poppin'? Clement the Dawn, what's goody? Hey, Clement, we've been dealing with a lot of hoes in these damn comment section today, right? Yo, the comments is coming in, they flying in, and all of these dudes got selective hearing, selective thinking, and a whole lot of motherfucking emo drinking, because as soon as Canelo get bashed on, pour me a drink. My God. Fuck up. Is it possible to cherry pick world champions? It's absolutely possible to cherry pick world champions. Shit. Charlo's cherry picked world champions before. And Cornelius Brundage. Let's think about it again. How many titles have Canelo, like it's a known fact. When you're in the position like Canelo to pick and choose, you can't tell me if a dude pulled up and fought Sergey Kovalev after you seen him struggle with a green Anthony Yard, and Anthony Yard's toughest test was who? Who was Anthony Yard's toughest test before he fought that? Travis Kaufman? Yo, so, and you see him almost knock this dude out, and then you see, here come the Cinnamon Man. Cinnamon Man, fighting every wound duck the cinnamon can. It's Cinnamon Man pulling up every time he see a wounded duck. He pulled up on Kovalev when he saw a wounded duck, grabbed that title and got the fuck up out of there. He's like, hey, that's one way to avoid them. I know that. Then what does he do? He pulls up on Callum Smith, gives him a 5-week notice. We know that. Callum Smith just had problems with John Ryder, an extremely long layoff, and people were playing freaking damn seesaw with that man's career at the time, going back and forth and shit like that. Then it's like some take it or leave it shit. We can say whatever we want about Avani Yildirim being a goddamn mandatory, but the fact is that guy requested it. This isn't a bashing marathon. This is just speaking the truth, man. And I'm sorry people can't get with that. And if you can't get with that, that's because you riding in a cinnamon van with Cinnamon Man, fighting all the wounded ducks the cinnamon can. Better watch out. Oh man, you better watch out, because he'll come out and come and take the easy route. Watch out. Here comes the Cinnamon Van. Who's saying I will always love you better? Dolly Parton or Whitney Houston? Ooh, gotta get at the Whitney. Yeah, man. The Cinnamon Man riding around with freaking Easy Button Reynoso in the Cinnamon Van. The cherry, look, man, I don't even know if there's going to be any more cherries left on the tree. He done grabbed them all. The only thing that's really left, like, it's kind of like that kind of the PPC shit that I was talking about back in the day. We got to wait for these motherfuckers to jump off the slave ship, do all their little round robins to where they out the point that they can pick and choose, and he's going to have to run into a real one eventually. All I'm saying is, when Canelo ran into the real ones, he really came up short, and he really looked bad. And then he fought a whole bunch of old men, catch weighted a whole bunch of other men. I mean, shit, what are we giving him credit for here? What are we giving him credit for here? How many wars was Sugar Shane Mosley? And I believe Sugar Shane Mosley was like damn near 40 years old. How was Miguel Cotto? How old was Miguel Cotto when he fought? What are we giving him credit for here? Is it Kermit Citron? Is it the catch weights for Alfredo Angulo? Is it the catch weights for James Kirkland after coming off a freaking 2-year freaking layoff instead of fighting Demetrius Andre? Are we supposed to give him credit for Beefy Smith? I mean, what are we giving him credit for here? I'll wait, because it's clearly a pattern that shows from 154 to 160 pounds, he didn't want no smoke with Demetrius Andre. And on top of that, when people say, who did Demetrius Andre fight? I do believe he put himself in a position to fight. Billy Joe Saunders had both hands raised up to do that shit. And what happened with that fight? Billy Joe Saunders chose to cheat. Billy Joe Saunders chose to duck that fight. Billy Joe Saunders ain't want to do that. So what? So the things that these people ask of Demetrius Andre is starting to become so goddamn out of control. Like, I can't even believe it. Like, think about what his father said. What we supposed to just keep moving up and chasing this dude? By the time, man, look, they're gonna be running all the way up to cruiserweight. We don't need a fat boo-boo. Y'all want this man to just keep running up weight and weight class after weight class after weight class, chasing the cinnamon van with the cinnamon man, picking every cherry the cinnamon can. Y'all want him to just keep chasing them weight class after weight class? And how many excuses y'all gonna make? Weight class after weight class after weight class after weight class after he keep chasing Cinnamon's ass. Pause. Because that's clearly what he's been doing. Then y'all like, oh, if he really wanted it, he should have dropped the WBO and came up to 168, blah, 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 but what? How is he going to do that? It's locked in with Billy Joe, but how is he going to do that? The motherfucker dropped the title before he even breathed and had all four. You can't, so is he undisputed? Because I thought by the rules of boxing and the way we carry it as the fans in boxing, when it comes to a champion or whatever, man, you ain't shit until you defend them shits, man. That motherfucker didn't defend at 168. He didn't defend at 175. He damn sure ain't going to defend a cruiser. And think about the stipulations on cruiser now. I do believe that it goes down. What? The limit has dropped 10 pounds because of Bridger. Correct me if I'm wrong. This dude pulls up. I swear to God, he must got spies. The WBC is like the WBC is like equivalent to the KGB or something. This dude got all type of intel running around, making sure they get these opportunities or people leave certain doors open after, they watch somebody, in their weakest state. And then they want to fight. I'm not making this stuff up. Patterns show, look, it's no different than solving a crime. You look at the patterns. And if this was equivalent to forensic science, and we're looking at the pattern shows us, quack, quack, quack. Come on, man. Come on, man. Most of these fighters only fight once a year. So they all be having long layoffs. So is Canelo a pride champion too? Like Suleiman says Devin Haney is? See, look, the crazy thing about this is it's funny to me how we'll be all dismissive about, they'll be all dismissive about Canelo and everything. And once again, like I said, Devin Haney can't get a fucking shot. Devin Haney trying to do everything he can to fight everybody. Everybody want to shit on Devin and all of this stuff. But when Ryan Garcia was in town, oh man, y'all wanted to get that motherfucker everything. I do believe nobody criticized Ryan Garcia when he stepped in that ring and he won that interim title. And then that dude sits up there and says he don't want to fight Devin for the world championship. He would rather go down to 130 pounds and fight Tank Davis. Nobody had shit to say about that. Devin Haney gets hit on his chin one time by a guy with a solid right hand who literally dropped Lomachenko. I repeat, dropped Lomachenko. Everybody criticizing Devin for pitching the shutout. Now Devin is doing all of the things that Devin was trying to do, and You hear nothing but whispers. Why is that? Oh, he fighting people. He fighting people, right? He living up to his name, right? And the ones that everybody set up there clapped their cheeks for and cheerleaded with some cherry flavored pom poms, smelling the scents of cherries every time they wave them, queefing and shit. What did they do? They kept their damn mouth shut because you would rather be quiet than admit that you're fucking wrong and give respect to an individual that's really going out there and walking it right. Because out of all of them dudes at 135, the only dude moving like he really got the sauce is Devin. And of course you got Lomachenko, but he fighting dead bodies on a triangle theory. I don't need to see goddamn Masaroshi Nakatani and his goddamn limited skill set keep getting knocked around by every Tom, Dick, and Harry. We know goddamn freaking Richard Comey had a freaking war, even though he dropped Beltran, 3-4 times in the fight? The fight lasted 8 rounds. The dude went to war with Ray Beltran. Got starched by Teofimo in 2 rounds. So when I sit up there and I say, hey, I have no interest on watching the Lomachenko fight simply off of the fact that how much confidence is Richard Comey going to have going into a Vasily Lomachenko fight, knowing who Lomachenko is based off of what the fuck just happened to him and the skills that he has. So it's just like, yo, we just going to be completely happy watching all of these 80-20s. These 80-20s. That's what we doing, because Canelo's whole life has been a fucking 80-20. And then when that motherfucker's a 20-80, then when it's a 50-50, that motherfucker gets shaky-achy. He shakes, then he bakes. If he ain't first, he lasts. Get on his Magic Man El Diablo shit and gets a skirting out. Anytime the water get a little hot or the water get a little deep, I know that. Yeah, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Stop playing with me, man. Stop playing with me. Canelo fans irritate me. Shit, they irritate me too. Most of them. The ones that aren't sensible. I don't have a problem with anybody like Canelo. Like I said, I think Canelo's, an astonishing fighter. But at the end of the day, he's not willing to prove himself. And then when people say, oh, he's small, like the one dude came on my comment section and said, you guys want Canelo to fight a cruiserweight? No, a heavyweight? Slow it down. Listen. What was Alexander Usyk? A cruiserweight. What did Alexander Usyk say he was going to do? Come back down to cruiserweight. And then they start speaking on the fact that he's so-called he's 5'8", 5'9", and all of this shit. But then I sit up there and say, well, shit, how tall is Alexander Usyk when he's facing the Anthony Joshuas of the world? Huh? How tall? Look, Mike Tyson was a fucking 5'8" heavyweight. It's your body build, your body type. Canelo literally walks around every fucking day outside of camp at like 180 plus, fool. And people got to understand this as well. When you go to your weigh-ins, like when people weigh, you're not cutting weight. The weight that they're weighing in at isn't their fucking natural weight, you fucking casual idiots. The weight that they're weighing in at, they're cutting it down to certain advantages because people are going to blow back up in weight after the fact. Weighing in is finicky business. Nobody who fights at the weight that they fight at really resides at those weights. So if you think Canelo is 150 fucking pounds, you're a fucking idiot. That motherfucker probably got more Clenbuterol and creatine in his vein. I ain't even gonna go there, allegedly. Well, we can speak on the Clenbuterol. But at the end of the day, he's not 150 pounds. And if he can fight one cruiserweight, why can't he fight another? Then you talk about his height, and I bring up Mike Tyson being a 5'8" fucking heavyweight and how that's just fucking crazy, the shit that he was doing. Every dude that he ever fought, that motherfucker had to break his neck to look up. Am I lying? But we had no problem praising him in those times. And we damn sure didn't speak about the disadvantages of the people that he was dealing with, excuse me. Like, yo, all of the cannon fodder, all of the crackhead shit that people are spewing out of their mouths, and they don't have a solid crutch to stand on because they know absolutely fuck all. Shout out to the whole UK about what the fuck I'm talking about. And hey, man, the blind is leading the blind in the boxing era. But look, I'm here to tell you motherfuckers that it's one person that's seeing through the bullshit. There's a few of us that see through the bullshit. I just see that I got to turn it up a notch. Because I guess some of the critiques that I wasn't lending last year, they should have been lent last year. And then maybe motherfuckers would see things a little clearer this year. Ortiz is 51 years old, more rolls in a bakery. Man, that dude, man, his fucking whole body looked like a warm bowl of potato salad. I put that shit in the video. I put a fucking picture of potato salad and fucking mashed potatoes with lumps in it in the goddamn video, because both of them were standing side by side at the goddamn weigh-in. One looking like a goddamn bowl of mashed potatoes, the other one looking like a goddamn bowl of warm potato salad. Slide in. I'm melting. Just saying, man. Salute to George with another super chat. He said Luis Ortiz didn't do so bad for a 45-year-old man. Look, man, that fight was the most boring fucking fight for what? Three or four knockdowns, for 4 knockdowns in total. That was a boring fucking fight. That was 6 rounds of torture. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. That was 6 rounds of torture. Usyk would murk Canelo inside 6 rounds. That's why when you hear Eddie Reynoso talk, you hear the cowardice in his language. You can hear the cowardice in his language. How he jumps out there to protect them and protect everything they built, because, you know, they built a fucking castle. Yo, they built a castle out of fucking sand. Like, any day they walls could be knocked down, and they know that shit. So they trying to strategically maneuver. And like I said, the WBC is the Cinnamon Man's KGB. They're making sure that they give them all of the inside information, the ins and outs of what's going on, and they try to give them whatever the fuck they ask for so they can protect, you know, their piece of the pie as well. There's no way that you could not look at Canelo like he picks and he chooses. And I'm so far beyond the days to where, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers are calling him King Nello and all of this bullshit. I'm so far beyond those days. Far beyond them. Grab this heli real quick, man. They gonna want to smoke a black and mild. What'd you say, franchise, bro? Go to IBF boxing? For what? That's my people. For what? What I need to go over there for? What I need to go over there for? Holler at me. What I need to go over there for? Mike Tyson was 5'11", but his body has girth. Okay, so he was 5'11". I thought he walked around at like anywhere between like 5'8", 5'10", and rumor has it that, you know what I'm saying, numbers was fluffed a little bit when it came to his size when he was going into the matches. But if you say 5'11", I'm with you. Shit. But either way, shit, that's still 5'11" fucking heavyweight. Canelo's fucking 5'9", bro, and look at his shoulders. Like I said, you got to look at a person's body. You got to look at a person's build, man. Not just look at them for their height, bro. Like, I'm 6 feet tall, and when a motherfucker look at me, I weigh 180 pounds. But if a motherfucker look at me, they would think I'm small, cause my body lean and shit. Skill for skill, I got Crawford at #1. That's what pound for pound is meant for. Pound for pound is meant to base the little guys against the big guys. And if it came down to the fight, how would they fare with them? How would this one do what that one do? And for real, when it comes down to skill for skill, Terrence Crawford is the most skilled boxer in freaking boxing. And for real, and if you put Canelo and Terrence Crawford in the same weight class and they were the same size, I'm pretty sure anybody who has a sound boxing mind will see how they see it. And I ain't here to try to sway no opinion. I got Terrence Crawford knocking him out. He wouldn't be able to keep up with him. He wouldn't be able to do nothing with him. Hold on, y'all. If it sound a little crazy, that's because I'm on my porch. My alarm gonna make noise and shit when I move. Planes and shit. I'm just a regular dude, man, for real, man. I ain't one of them dudes that's going out his way to try to give y'all no fancy presentation or try to sell y'all, you know what I'm saying, no fancy backdrop or none of that shit, because don't none of that shit matter. I started off doing that shit, shooting from a cannon, having, you know what I'm saying, the Maryland, you know, sign behind me and doing all of that shit, being all studious with it. But that wasn't me. Going that whole uptight route and you know, trying to pretend, like trying not to do things that I know that I do every day in my life, that's not me. And I didn't feel like that's what's going to get to the truth, and that's what's going to get to the bottom of what's really going on in this sport, so where we could really ruffle some feathers. So I said, I'm going to carry this shit how I carry this shit every day, and I'm just going to be me. I'm one of y'all, man. Don't separate me, man. I'm one of y'all, man. I ain't nothing. I ain't no Dan Raphael. I ain't no fucking fight hype. I ain't none of them weirdos and shit that smile up in their face and none of that. I'm fucking smoke. I'm a real guy every day. And if anybody ever run into me and approach me and stuff like that, yo, I'm going to have my guard up because I don't know. I ain't been approached by nobody, don't know nobody. So if somebody ran up to me and I'm like, yo, two hands, whatever, I'm going, I gotta make sure, you know, it is what it is. There's real shit be going on in my life. But when I talk this boxing shit, I'm talking that shit from the heart, from the gut, but I make sure I bring my facts with me. But I ain't worried about the fancy backdrops. I ain't worried about all of the other shit or whatever. I let y'all motherfuckers in my house. I talk this shit because I really mean this shit, and I'm tired of the goofy shit. And I just want everybody to know that, yo, it's a lot of dudes just trying to do this and do that or be like him, man. I'm just trying to be me, dog. I tell y'all motherfuckers all the time, y'all stars, fuck these goofballs. Shine like one. Ortiz's legs have gone. Martin has no chin. Punched in the naria. Is that like the nuts or something? That's because Martin's a straight bum. The ropes put the Venus flytraps on Charles. Yo, that motherfucker got all tangled up in them joints, don't you? I'm talking about, yo. Yo, Ivy got his ass. DC comment, she wrapped him up. Martin ain't built for boxing. Kids sleeping on his feet, man. Dude, he has this. Look, how many times did he breeze? How many times did he breeze past Luis Ortiz? Give him his whole entire, you know, left side of his face. Excuse me, right side of his face, because he threw the left hand and completely like Superman Soldier Boy all the way past Luis Ortiz, like he was in the fucking Matrix. I was going to throw that in the video too. Had a Soldier Boy, all that shit in there. But I didn't feel like doing it. It was too fucking early in the morning. I started video 5. But anyway, how many times did Charles Martin get that motherfucker his back, walk away from this dude, knowing that there was no referee, you know, standing in between them? It wasn't no breaks or no situation like that. He just gave him his back, and he just fought terribly in spots. He wasn't really dedicated. Dude, you know, he had the ability to put him on the ground twice, but he never was thirsty to get the finish. Like, you see the difference between him and Ortiz in that situation. Ortiz was thirsty, hungry to get the fucking finish when he had him hurt. Like, yo, the tangled webs we fucking weave from a hook. Shit. So that nigga got up. Ortiz is like, hello. Okay, so, okay. Caught the rope, stand up, you bum. What shambles? Hell yeah, man. Josh is built like a welterweight. Josh Taylor versus Crawford is a cracking fight. It absolutely is, and I can't wait to see that fight. That fight is a great fight, and I believe people underestimate the sales because, as long as, you know what I'm saying, ain't no bullshit like jab, 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 jab standing in the way, you're going to have motherfucking all of fucking Scotland, all the motherfucking UK, all the motherfucking probably all of Australia coming over that motherfucker if they can lead that bitch to watch Josh Taylor. Like, yo, everybody ride for Josh Taylor. The only people that can't see that is the motherfuckers in the United States. I love that dude. I think he's one of the meanest dudes in boxing. I think he's one of the most honest dudes in boxing. I think what you see of Josh Taylor, you get every day. That's the guy that you get. And honestly, for real, him being that ferocious, him being that much of a dog, him being that mean and that much of a fucking asshole in his every fucking day life, that makes him that much more entertaining. And for real, he's a slept-on superstar in the making. He could, man, look, if Bob Arum was smart, Josh Taylor would already be a superstar. You feel me? Don't nobody talk that shit like him. Don't nobody press, really, there ain't too many dudes that press people like him. You know what I'm saying? He got all the abilities, all the skills and shit like that. He want all the smoke and he got the resume to fucking prove it. The only people that don't understand what's going on is casuals and people that just don't want to see it. Just like they don't want to see the bullshit cherry picking and all the goofy shit Canelo be doing. You know what I'm saying? All this strategic motherfucking cherry picking he be doing. Old Cinnamon Man. AKA Kahell no. Because when it comes to some real opposition, that nigga's like, Kahell no. Kahell no Alvarez. That's his new name. Kahell no. Oh shit, motherfucker, Miguel Brolic is shit. My man said I'm 5'10", 207. Oh yeah, you a Brolic nigga. And I'm 180, 185. You know what I'm saying? I'm carrying a little thug behind me, so shit, you 5'10", 207, yeah, you a motherfucking little Wolverine. You a Wolverine type nigga. I do, man, because I really care, and that's the difference between me and a lot of these dudes, man. Like, for real, I genuinely give a fuck about y'all, and I don't know y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because the one thing about me is, man, I'm a really spiritual dude. I'm a people person, man. I'm really a people person. I really get something out of fucking touching and interacting with the people. So when I'm on this shit, bro, I'm interacting with the people. I ain't interacting or even caring about the machine. I'm not even caring about the perks that come along with this shit as I climb. I give a fuck about y'all. So when I come on this joint, I chop it up with y'all. And you know what I'm saying? I could care less what other people are doing. But when it comes to this shit, how many motherfuckers y'all really, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to this boxing shit and y'all doing it, y'all really can sit up and chop it up with like that on and off this boxing shit. Yo, I'm super available on this boxing shit. Ask anybody in here, ask Tyrese, ask motherfucking Gotti Line, ask Timmy Nealon. Shit, man, look, ask a lot of people. I'm super tangible with this shit. You could get a hold of me anytime. Now on Twitter, I'm really off and on with that shit. But I talk and I talk life and I share my experience with y'all because, yo, we all people, man. Like, for at the end of the day, man, this ain't no character. Like I said, it's different when you're not a character, man. Martin did the Spider-Man punch, the Superman punch about 6 times. Yeah, he was you. Crank that soldier boy. Yo, he ain't walking this earth like a god no more. Oh, the tangled webs we weave. Bro, that shit, ayo Chance. That shit hurt me, bro. That shit hurt me, bro. I got 2 daughters. You know what I'm saying? When you got your daughter out there, Joan, man, look, man, that little princess be crying every time she see me. Man, look, I watched that girl cry both while the fights. And then when she seen her father get knocked down twice, man, watching them tears, man, that shit hurt me. I'm sitting there thinking in my head, man, Ortiz, you better get the fuck up and knock this dude out, man, so you can stop your little girl from crying, man, because that shit gonna affect her. For real. I don't know. I'm kind of iffy about, you know what I'm saying, my kids watching me fight or whatever the case may be. Josh Taylor, little beast, he one of my favorite fighters. That's a fact. You want to know the crazy thing is? It was, shout out to TBK the first. I believe it was TBK the first. Probably it was either TBK the first, Wizard Sleeve, I think it might have been TBK the first and Wizard Sleeve, who was really like, yo, Josh Taylor, like, I think he the best in the world. before he went through the Ali gauntlet and the World Super Series and all of that, them boys was already telling me like, yo, two hands, he's the one. And I was like, all right, but I had my feelings about Prograis as well. I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought Prograis was gonna get him, and honestly, that fight could have if that fight would have been on American soil, Prograis would have won. Is over there, Josh won. Either way, I would have been happy with either outcome. You know what I'm saying? Been cool with a draw too, because I'd have loved to see it a second time. But somebody had to win in that situation. But them boys was on it, man. And Josh Taylor is everything he say he is. And anybody that don't deny that, man, that's because, you got a personal problem, bro. Or you got a personal agenda. I hope Ben Davison doesn't ruin Josh Taylor, go too defensive. Hope not. See, Josh Taylor got such good footwork, such good in and out game, such good lateral movement and shit like that. I think that Ben Davison, with the style that he bring to the table, I think that he's only going to, you know what I'm saying? I think it's only going to work in the favor of, Josh Taylor's combinations, and Ben Davison actually going to enhance his in and out game for real. And enhance his counter prowess, and then he's going to be able, man, I think it's just going to make him take off more. I honestly think it's a good fit because of the type of fight, because of the type of style Ben Davison has as a coach, the type of fighter Josh Taylor already is, and the fact that he can fight in the phone booth, get dirty, or, stay mid-range and just, work you with the reach. And just blast the fuck out of you. I think Ben Davison can only enhance his game, man. Sometimes, you go through a process to where you change one, two trainers, or in Tyson Fury case, you change a couple because, with your intangibles, there are certain things that you get out of certain people. And I feel like Ben Davison is just going to elevate him to another level where he need to be when he goes up to 147. Because we know when he gets to 147, it ain't a lot of dudes that's got planted feet there. It's a lot of dudes that's movers and shakers up there. And the type of champions that we have at 147 right now, the only one who really got their feet in the mud is Errol Spence. If I was a boxer, I would fight at 154, 160 because I don't have the longest arms. Hey, man, like for real. Shit, you see how Jarrett Hurd did it? Jarrett Hurd had no business being at 154. No business. He's 168. He's 168 guy all day. But he chose 154 because he knew if he could cut that motherfucking weight. And I'm telling you, if you go on YouTube and you watch some of Jarrett Hurd videos while he training and shit like that, and you watch him do his sweat challenges and shit like that, yo, he do them sweat challenges and stuff, to enhance his mentality to cut that weight so he can make sure he make it in that ring at 154. So when he blow back up in weight, he can use them advantages. Because Jarrett Hurd is one thing. He's a straight juggernaut, come forward, you know what I'm saying? He's hella durable, eats hella fucking shots, but that motherfucker just don't stop chugging. And that's what kills people with Jarrett Hurd, because the fact that motherfucker is the little engine that just can't stop, won't stop. He'll just keep coming, and every round he pours more gasoline in the tank and keeps coming forward, until he do like he did Tony Harrison, how he did Elias Landry Lara. He wilts them motherfuckers. Wilts them. Don't bring the kids too much emotion involved. You meant to be at work. That's a fact, man. Like I don't know how I could operate, if my daughters were sitting out there, man. Cause you can distinctly hear your daughter's voice. I don't give a fuck how loud somebody's screaming. Yo, it's something about, the connection with your kid. That shit gonna pierce through all of that. And that's gonna be bothersome. That's gonna be bothersome, especially to the mentality of a fighter. But who knows? That's probably I'm pretty sure that's what he's fighting for. So that probably could be his motivation. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, everybody's mentality is so different when it comes to this fucking sport. And I mean, it's an amazing sport, man. It's just everybody's personality is different. Everybody flips a switch differently, and people just handle such a tough fucking job in ways that I could probably never fathom for real. You can never really knows what's going through a boxer's mind because there's so much fucking pressure for real. And I see why a lot of them dudes you see a lot of these guys now, they can't even handle the pressure as is because you know they wasn't built like that from the jump. You see what happened to Ryan Garcia, man, that motherfucker, he asked for it, he asked for it, he asked for it. God gave him what he asked for. He got a hold of Luke Campbell. He tasted, you know what I'm saying, one of the weakest motherfucking hands in that division and got knocked on his motherfucking ass. And then he started reevaluating, is this something that I really want to do? Mentally fragile, started cracking. And we ain't seen him since. And now he wants to run a triangle theory with Tank Davis. Martin Ramos, salute to you, brother. Happy New Year to you and your family as well. JD says, I like Josh, but I still believe Prograde won. Yeah, man, I had him edging the fight as well. But you know, like I said, in that situation, man, it's so fucking close, man. They were going to go either way. And I do believe that, you know, where that fight took place, you know, is partly responsible for that. I just feel like, you know, we need more genuine judging, but at the same time, here's another thing too. I can't be responsible and act like, you know, that I can really give an accurate depiction, you know, hypothetically on what another judge is seeing in there. I don't know if he's looking for, you know, I don't know if he's looking for rapid fire pressure, a guy who's standing on the front foot, a guy who's just, you know, cleaner punching. I don't know what it is. I don't know if a guy, I don't know if they pay attention to, you know, guys trying to steal the rounds at the end or whatever. What are these guys looking for? See, we don't even know. So, you know, unless the shit is such a margin to where it's so astronomically wide, well, we know this is some goofy shit. So it's like, you know, in situations like that where, you know, fight so fucking close, it's just like, man, I don't know what was going through that judge's mind at that time. So I can't even pretend to act like I know, regardless of how I feel. I just know when the margins are super spread real crazy and all of that, that's when, you know what I'm saying, I'm just like, yo, we know what's going on here. We know what's going on. What the fuck? Want to see Taylor at 147 besides Crawford, probably Ortiz and Ennis. Man, I'm telling you, we almost there, bro. By the time 2023 hit, bro, you don't have, man, but well, probably by the time at the end of 2022, because Josh Taylor's adamant, man, this dude could probably just defend his belt one time, fight Jack Catterall, and then, you know, relinquish them shits, and then head up to 147, and then try to repeat the same thing again. And then when he get up there, you got Virgil, you got Boots, you know what I'm saying? Man, you got Crawford, you got Spence, Thurman, he just talking. I'm also still on the fence on Ben Davison. Yeah, you know, like I said, we still got to see because Josh, the only person that Josh fought on Top Rank. I mean, the only two people Josh fought on Top Rank was Jose Ramirez. And man, I don't want to butcher this guy's last name, man. I'm gonna butcher the fuck out that shit. Y'all, what's the cat's name, man? How you fuck? He punished that man. He got him out of there so fucking fast. Like it's like you couldn't even really tell what he learned from Ben or what he didn't learn from Ben. And he just smoked Jose boots. I mean, smoked his boots. That good, man. That good. Smooth killer. Smooth killer. Josh versus Spence too. If Spence wants two-weight undisputed champ, something. Man, I wish. Hold up. I wish he did it. I wish he went two-weight undisputed. Shoot, I wish he did it. Like, I just want to see Errol Spence grow some balls, man. And look, like I said, yo, just because you fighting individuals, you know, over at the PBC, it don't necessarily mean that, you know, like, hey, you really with the business. I can't tell. I honestly can't tell. Because when it comes to Terrence Crawford, I swear to God, this dude does more freaking running than, you know, the Nickelodeon character that go, me. Josh Taylor will be solid at 147, but time will only prove it. If he's smart, he should push and to be the mandatory for Spence versus Ugas win. Yeah, man, when you got all of them belts, man, you got to take advantage of the opportunities that's presented to you when you move up. So you can take advantage of continuously, you know, competing with champions and moving up and elevating and progressing as a champion. Because, you know, one thing I will say is this, man, Josh Taylor is definitely going to he'll be a three-weight world champion. I truly believe that. Spence gonna run from Taylor, just like he been running from that Bud Smoke. I'm clearing out two weight. I'm clearing out two weight divisions. That's a legacy. Taylor could be halfway there. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, he gonna do it. He gonna do it. I honestly think that, and y'all know I don't gas nobody. He got all the tools to do it, man. He'll be a three-way world champion. Rod did put effort into wanting to make a movie. Oh yeah, he put a lot of effort in, you know what I'm saying, playing the best friend of that freaking homo little black boy. All that dancing and stuff, all that little weird ass dancing and stuff he be doing in the garage while he fucking. Oh man, that kid is a fucking cringe, bro. That kid is an absolute cringe. Did I see Spence versus Ugas is on for May? I don't know because I haven't seen it, and I get all of the notifications for all of that shit ASAP. So, but if that's the case, you know what I mean. That's what's up. He's gonna lose. I'm here to tell y'all that right now. Spence is gonna lose that fight. He can't, man. Look, he don't have the tools to beat Ugas. If he struggled with Sean Porter, Ugas is gonna make it look easy. Y'all think I'm bugging? I'm dead ass serious. The same shit I said about Manny Pacquiao with Ugas. So clearly I ain't tripping about, y'all know I don't just say stuff to say it. From Sean Porter to Spence, from Ugas to Pacquiao, from goddamn Castano to Charlo, Tyson Fury knocking out Deontay Wilder, all of these things. Like I don't just say that shit, be saying it, then it be happening. Because man, I know, man, look, man, I'm just fortunate enough to be just born right at the tip of an era where I got to see, you know what I'm saying, the last leg of the greats, and got to absorb, you know what I mean, enough information on the ones that came before them to where, I understand and when I look at these fighters, I know what they lacking. I thought Taylor won most of them rounds. I saw Jared Hurd video. Thought he was going for the Bridgeweight title. Looked like he's about 210. Yeah, man. Jared Hurd, a big boy, man. Two hand, two spare. UK judges or American judges. Shit, man. Huh. That's a good question. Honestly, man, look, I would say this. To be perfectly honest, I've seen these individuals screwed on both sides of the pond. I've seen guys screwed on both sides of the pond, whether it's, the underdog beating the, the champion or whatever. I've seen guys screwed on both sides of the pond. So I just split the corruption 50-50. I just say, it depends on the promotional outfit that night, how much is really riding on the line, and how much people really trying to get done. Yeah, everybody was picking Ramirez. That is a fact. I don't know why they was doing that. That's crazy to me. You could see Ramirez didn't have the things that was going to be able to keep up with him. Ramirez has the tackle. Ramirez could only do one or two things. He'd have to walk straight in, or he'd have to, try to cut him off because he don't have the footwork or the movement to keep up, or to play a game of feinting and make it look, and give him weird, awkward angles. He don't possess those abilities. Same shit with Canelo. He got to walk straight forward, chop you down, and hope, and hope to eventually, catch up with you and cut you off. If he ain't gonna get you that way, he just can't get you at all. That's why he gonna make sure that he has somebody that he can, reach out and touch. Hey, the boys calling that man Errol Sprints right now. They done changed his name to Errol Sprints. Whoever came up with Errol Sprints, man, I swear to God, I got $20 for him. Two hands. Do you see Fulton beat MJ Medaliev? That was next. Nope. MJ Medaliev goes undisputed. Stephen Fulton don't hit hard enough. He don't pack enough Wilder to keep MJ settled down, man. And MJ come from the school of Joel Diaz where he's gonna beat your body up. So all of that up top movement, all of that leg work you got, he gonna make sure he flood out the basement so you can't move, and he gonna overwhelm you with that work. I got MJ smoking his boots, stopping him. and 10. Fulton's going, what I see is Fulton going to hang on. He's going to try to box. He's going to try to box. He's going to try to bang with him. He's going to try to, he's going to try to move around the ring. He's going to try to stick and move. He's going to try to get in there, be as quick as he can and get out. But he's going to realize that MJ is a little too quick for that. And every time he tries to, use his advantages, MJ just going to sting him in the body, cut him off, walk him down, sting him in the body. And the whole time, you know what I'm saying, and then when them hands start to drop, you already know what time it is. Because those hands are gonna drop. Like, there's no guy under that teaching. And Joel Diaz straight up is probably my favorite trainer. There's no guy that works with Joel Diaz that doesn't fire off at the guts. Period. That's mandatory. The head is forgotten. The head is a forgotten issue. Everything is about the ribs. Everything is about the liver. Everything is about all them guts. Everything is about flooding up the basement when it comes to Joel Diaz. Anybody that he coaches. And I'm just like, when you watch, MJ Ahmadaliev fight Danny Roman, you just like, man, look, man. Yeah, Stephen Fulton, it's all nice and all of that. And I like boxers, man, but it's a different. If you're a boxer, you got to have that punch to go with it. MJ different. And y'all know I've been a big fan of MJ since day one. Oh, bro, you see what I see. Man, can you lead a Martin to a planet where he can walk it and not get KO'd in it? Shout out to Red Glove Military, man. Go subscribe if you ain't subscribe. Good guy, man. Like, he probably got his asinine helmet on right now. Right now. You have to bust the guts on a boxer mover. Absolutely, man. And that's the thing, Fulton's a great boxer, poised, great IQ, great footwork, great up top game. Comes out of, hard, rugged kid coming up out of Philly, man. Out of the Philly teaching. Beautiful Philly shell game and all of that. But at the end of the day, he don't pack what's necessary to keep that motherfucking ferocious monster at bay. I would have to compare MJ Akhmadaliev in the way he works, kind of like if you was to compare him to an animal out in the world, I would say he moves more like a wolverine or a badger, honey badger or a wolverine. Relentless motherfucking attack. They ain't worried about what you bringing. You're going to have to deal with a lot of aggression. You're going to have to deal with a lot of speed. You're going to have to deal with, and his body build, man. MJ is not a little guy for that weight class, man. He's very big. He's a very stout guy at that weight. And like, he gets mean about a minute, man. I just see a whole lot of cutting off the ring. I just see a whole lot of, like it's like kind of like Artur Beterbiev in a sense. Like everybody think that when, Artur fight, they're always looking at what Artur doesn't have. And that's where they lose. If you understand what I'm saying. Everybody looks at what Artur doesn't have. And that's the problem. And that's the reason why Artur beat you. Because it's not about what Artur doesn't have. He doesn't care about what you have. He doesn't care about he don't have to have all of the movement and everything. You want to know what Artur Beterbiev got, what everybody else doesn't have? He has an outstanding IQ, amateur pedigree. He's very poised in his position, and he understands other styles. He's entertained all of the movers. He entertained all of the big boy sluggers. He tasted the canvas before and all of that. But one thing about him, he's relentless. He has a solid freaking chin. And the one thing about this dude, when he punches you, it's hella different. Like his power, ask Vozick. Ask Vozick how he feel. He made Vozick retire. Vozick was a top 10 pound for pound fighter until he made him retire. And that's just relentless pressure. It don't matter, bro. You can try to stick and move all day. And those are the reasons why people don't understand why, Artur Beterbiev is always going to beat your ass. And the only person I really see beating him is Dimitri Bivol. I've said it since day one. Bivol got his number. Bivol is a special breed. But you see what Bob Arum is doing. I guarantee, Joe Smith ain't mentioned Bivol not once because he already taxed that ass. So you know what Bob Arum talking about now, and it just came out. And I believe, shout out to Juju. Ring IQ, go subscribe if you haven't over at the Relay. I do believe that, he just dropped a video speaking on how Bob Arum is trying to call Dimitri Bivol boring. The only time that term comes out when it comes to fighters, you know, killers. The reason they saying shit like that is because they trying to stay away from them. They trying to keep that shit. Like for real. Because think about the power shifts that are actually in motion right now. Regardless of whatever happens with Anthony Joshua Usyk, Eddie Hearn is good. But if Anthony Joshua wins that shit, Dillian White got the fight with Tyson Fury coming up. Tyson Fury drops that shit. Dillian White gets the belt. They have all of the heavyweight leverage over the zone. Then if you talk about the light heavyweight class, even if Joe Smith and Artur Beterbiev fight, if Bivol, they fight Bivol and they lose, then Bivol gets it all. So he's going to push Bivol off like Bivol isn't some threat when Bivol is the biggest threat. He is really, in my eyes, the only threat. Now, does Joe Smith Jr. and Artur Beterbiev make for a great fight? It makes for a fucking hell of a clash. Stylistically, it's a sock 'em bop 'em type of affair. If Joe Smith can, you know what I'm saying, deal with the length, and if he can deal with, you know what I'm saying, trying to get inside and deal with a guy like that. But he don't have to worry about him because Artur is going to come to him. Joe Smith, man, they don't want Bivol because the writing's on the wall, man. And now I'm starting to truly see that motherfuckers is avoiding him. Because Bivol been saying for the past 2 years he wants to fight, and he truly feels as though he can beat him. If I fight Beterbiev, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to hit him with the low blows until the referee say stop it. Hey man, you got to do what you got to do with that guy. I ain't going to hold you. You got to do what you got to do. Beterbiev is one of those guys where you have to understand if you're going to go in the ring and you're going to understand that you're going to come out a little bit less than what you were before that. But to have it underneath your belt and say to do it, man, and to be that guy to, you know, stop such a ferocious, you know, opponent. Like, that's why I said, like, that's why I feel like Bivol the only one to do it, because he has the footwork, he has the power behind his gloves, and he has the, you know, the combo output to understand that with a level of length to where he knows that he's going to have to punch this guy in volume, give up a level of flesh at the same time, move on him, and keep him on the move, but he's going to have high volume through that entire fight to make him fall apart. You're not going to be able to go out and just box Bivol by round with just poised character. Like that's one of them type of fights to where, you know, you got to turn up. You got to Sugar Ray Tommy Hitman Hearns that thing. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way you beat a guy like that. When you know a guy's a ferocious puncher that's going to come to you, that wants to slug and wants to bang, you got to be able to bang a little bit harder than he does and be able to, you know what I'm saying, to find your fleeting moments, man, and to be able to open up, find separation, and have a heavy assault within those, you know, opening gaps. This motherfucker said Lewis the God Killer. Oh my God. More like Luis Ortiz, you know what I'm saying, took out the false prophet. Took out the false prophet. Roberto Duran burst Kenny Buchanan's left nut after the bell, hands of stone. God damn, man. Roberto, man, that dude was different, man. That dude was hella different, man. Like, for real. Like, you go back to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was watching on how Roberto Duran was fucking punching. I was literally watching this shit like what? Like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I was watching how Roberto Duran was punching on Iran Barkley. That shit was hurting me. And shit, I got a fucking hernia right now. That shit was making my stomach hurt. You gonna have to bust Beterbiev guts to slow him down a bit. Yeah, you gonna have to hit that motherfucker with something real hot. You gonna have to hit him with something real hot. Like, to me, I think, man, like I said, man, you're gonna be understandably so, you're gonna have to go in there and be willing to give up some shit that understand that you might not come out with the faculties you had before, or he's gonna shave off a little bit of your prime or a lot of your prime. Like, for real, there's not too many guys like that are just built like that. You know that, like, you can just see in his jaw structure and everything, the motherfucker built solid. Like, there's not too many guys that are built like that punch like that, and he still has the ability to put combinations together. He just starts overwhelming with them joints. He has a short he has a really short combo output. It's like really, really short, really tight. He waits till he get inside and then Pop, 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 pop. Hit you with a few. But they thudding though. Imagine if he put like some real behind that shit. It's a problem. It's a problem. Two hands in chat. What do Wilder fanboys call Ortiz versus Martin fight? Revelations. Did they? Did he? Did he call that? Boxing is fucking terrible. It's built with characters. Duran knocked out a donkey for a drunken bet. Man, that dude. I heard about that shit too. Ain't no video footage. I heard Mike Tyson punched a horse to sleep. Or was it a cow? I heard Mike Tyson knocked out a cow. I don't know how true that is, but I definitely heard something like that. The Russians do bodies are built different. Yeah, Eddie, not just Russian. He's a Russian French Canadian on top of that. And one thing I can say about them Canadian cats, man, shout out to Lemieux and shout out to Pascal. Them niggas hit hard, bro. They hit hard, bro. Like Dmitry Bivol. He's Russian, Korean, Japanese. He's a Korean. He's Korean mixed with Russian, and they left Korea when he was a kid, and they fled and moved to Russia. So all of those guys are built up of that cold atmosphere, that cold, heavy knuckles, hard work, grind, shit. Every day that you even get up and you go outside, shit, it's just a work, just a fucking, it's a fucking pain in the ass and it's a whole level of training just to get in your fucking car, dealing with the Russian fucking weather. Like, so those dudes, they pound different, man. They like just shit. Just think about like Russian special forces. Like when you think about the Spetsnaz and how they train, everything they do is different, man. Like, just like, if you literally go on YouTube, right? I don't know if they have it anymore, but they used to have it all the time. You could just like type in like, Russia is fucking nuts. Like you could like type in videos about Russian shit on the highway and you'll see all of these dudes, like as soon as like they honk the horn and some shit like that or run up on somebody on the highway, these motherfuckers are sticking pistols out the fucking window and shit, having people back off and shit like that. Straight nutty shit. They drawing pistols. These motherfuckers, like you see videos of these big Russian dudes taking on 4 guys, fucking talking crazy to his girlfriend, knocking all of them out. Like, them boys built, them boys forged by fire, man. Shout out to everybody from where they at that ever went through something, you know what I'm saying, that's, built a fighter's, a fighter's persona based off of, you know what I'm saying, like where you come from. And that's what is where you come from make you who you are, man. And it carries you where you're going. And dudes like that, like you don't see no chinks in his armor, he don't do no talking. He just come out there and he just wrecking. Man, shit, them dudes are scary, man. Humble and freaking horrifying. Jesus Christ. Sorry for the blasphemy, but damn. I've been to Green Bay, Wisconsin, and the cold air literally takes your breath away. Yeah, man. Like you talking like out in Green Bay and shit like that. You talking below zero weather. They don't call that joint the frozen tundra for nothing. Bivol stays training with them Uzbeks, MJ and them. Yeah, man. Israel Madrimov and all of them boys, they all came over with blue chip perspective. And the crazy thing is, I think these dudes really do their homework over in Uzbekistan and over in Russia and stuff like that. Because when they send them over, who do they send them and trust them with? They send them over to Joel. Send them all over to Joel. So what that tells me is those guys do their homework. They know where to send their guys to, to get the best out of them. And they're not afraid to send their guys on that journey to make them the best that they need to be. Because like I said, every region of the world, every boxer fights different. There's literally like a Japanese style, you know what I'm saying? Like you have, the European style of boxing, Russian boxers fight a certain way, like American boxers fight a certain way, like UK guys, y'all kind of adapt, you know what I'm saying? Taking that real amateur prowess and then mixing it in with those slicks and shit like that, American fighters have, take on those American traits as well, build those as well, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got guys like Dmitry Bivol who takes that fucking, take that Russian style, that Russian/German style, that kind of like a Klitschko brother style, blend that shit together, you know what I mean? And and make that shit go. And those are the ones that people call boring because those are the ones who really take all of the cross their T's and dot their I's when it comes to the complete skill set of what a boxer is supposed to be. I once punched a police horse. He started it, head butted twice. Long face fucker didn't move, nearly broke my hand, then arrested. I was that night in the holding tank for assaulting a fucking officer of the law. Mm-hmm. But I would do no cold weather, man. I wasn't built for that shit, man. I'm black, man. I was built to be tropical. I was built to be in everything above 60 degrees. And for real, the more sun, the better for me. The more sun, the more vitamin D, the stronger, you know what I'm saying, it makes me. Like, for real. Like, cold weather wasn't never meant for my skin. You know what I mean? No, but the cop, the cop, no, but the cop on him dead. What's good, Gotti? Oh man, look, yeah, the cop definitely did because yo, that's no different than over here. If you hit a horse, tamper with one of them police horses, shit, you tamper with one of them police dogs, you will catch a murder on an officer charge if you kill a police dog, right or wrong. Ain't that how it go, Gotti? Ain't that how it go? Ain't that how it go over here? You hit a police dog, you kill a police dog or something like that. Don't they charge you for, you know what I'm saying, the murder of an officer? He said, no, but I got a good kicking in the cells. Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure, James, that you know, once they put you in them cuffs, they probably took you somewhere real quick and beat your ass for a little while. Or they probably put you in a little room or something so somebody, or, you know, so they could jump on you and beat your ass for a little while. But they be taking that shit personal. I know over here, man, cops take that shit personal. You touch one of them, man, you're not going straight to the jail. We're going to pull you over here in this little dark area. Make sure ain't no cameras over there. We're going to whoop your ass for a little bit, and then we're going to bring you in that jump, beat the fuck up. It's kind of like, there was this one guy, right? This is a little off topic, but on topic at the same time. Just ain't dealing with boxing. Like, what's that show that I watch on YouTube? It's basically like about they they show interrogations basically, and in this interrogation, this dude came in, yo, his head was so freaking swole up. It looked like that Martin Lawrence clip that I always put in the older videos where Martin Lawrence's head was swole up after fighting Hitman Hearns. Dude walked in there like that, leaking. I guess he had killed his girlfriend, killed a cop, and some more shit. So when he walks in there and they interrogate him, yo, this dude leaking from his head, he leaking from his neck, he leaking from his lips. He asking for some medical attention. They made him sit in the interrogation room for 3 hours while the cops sitting outside the room, feds, everybody else, marshals, and they like, yo, the nurses and them is coming, but they at the same time, though, trying to get him to give a confession. And during the whole process, man, they had that man in that room for 5 hours leaking. Yo, the man talking about, man, I'm leaking and y'all want to get a confession out of me and y'all ain't got me no goddamn no medical help. They basically like, man, fuck your medical help, man. Like, yo, you killed a cop, man. Them dudes bluffed on that dude the whole time. So I know the game's cop, you know what I'm saying, the cops play, because they do that shit over here all the time. Yeah, he got fucked up bad, man. They beat that boy ass, dude. Yep, that's the one. I think it's called like what is it? What is the name of that channel, man? It's a really good channel. It's like J.E. Law or something. I can't remember it off the top of my head. I'm subscribed to it, but they always have, they always cover, the psychology of, a criminal and how interrogations work, the body language, et cetera, et cetera. They beat his whole ass. He and that Joy talk about, yo, y'all kicked me in my head, y'all fucked me up, y'all did this, they did that. Man, they was being completely dismissive of that. While the cops are sitting right outside the room, you know them the ones who whooped his whole ass. And they waiting to jump on him again as soon as the time presents itself. Like, yo, over here, the prison system is real fucked up. Like shit in New York, the COs will pass out gym stars to the, you know what I'm saying, to opposing to opposing cliques inside of prison just to get people messed up, lock them in, give niggas a whole bunch of raises, and let them, you know what I'm saying, kill the other dudes or whatever because they paid off. Like the whole structure of the system, you know what I'm saying, is built, you know, it's super corrupt and they be fucking people up left and right. That's just a fact. Yeah, that's what it's called, James. JCS. Thank you so much. So you be watching First 48 and Beyond Scared Straight too, huh? Man, I watch anything that has to do with the the psychology of the human mind. Because you know it's just intriguing to me. You know how people work. You know, and one thing, and I feel like the most important thing is understanding people on all levels. So you know how to approach people when it comes to business. You know how to approach people everyday life, their temperament. You know, and knowing these things might even save you from a situation where somebody ready to do some shit and you might not have been able to pick up on the signs on it, but through, you know what I'm saying, watching shit like that, you might have been able to pick up on it. But yeah, I be on all that shit, bro. I feel like that's the most, you know, those are some of the most important things, you know what I'm saying, to pay attention to, man. Because who do you deal with more than anything? You got to step outside your door every day and go deal with a whole bunch of people you don't want to deal with. Some of them treacherous, some of them great, some of them a little in between, some of them you have no fucking idea and you still trying to figure out. Oh yeah, for sure. That's my shit. All of that shit, bro. Cold like cold case murders, you know, DNA, all of that shit. Like because yo, it's just amazing to me how a motherfucker can go back 20 years and deal with a case and be able to pull some fucking DNA out of like some random ass shit. Like yo, this motherfucker deployed an arson job, burnt down this whole fucking building, dude. Whole fucking building burnt to shit. Nobody was in sight. They didn't have fucking a thing to fucking go off of. Do you know they found this dude? They found this dude through a fucking burnt up Coke can, and they were able to pull his DNA off of a burnt up Coke can they found on the scene of the premises. Pulled that shit back, and they caught him like that. Yo, what's the original? Oh, the 70s in Chicago. That's when gang like the original gangs is really prevalent and all of that shit. So I know that joint real crazy. You know, just scared straight in general. I think it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing. I think scared straight can be a good thing, but it's only gonna work for those dudes who really already kind of skittish and don't really have an understanding of how the world really works. It depends on how bad you know your situation is on your come up for real. Like I think scared straight only gonna work with people that ain't seen much shit. But like take some kids in Baltimore, take some kids like in DC, Chicago, you know what I'm saying, like Cincinnati, you know, Florida, Fayetteville, you know, shit, Charleston, anywhere, like you know what I'm saying, LA, shit, Sacramento, Sacktown, Houston, Texas, wherever. It just depends on what your eyes have seen, man. So if you was a good kid and say you just started smoking some cigarettes or smoking a little weed or something, and you get jammed up because you fucking with the wrong crowd, yeah, that's gonna work on a scared straight situation. But if you've been seeing bodies drop and you already got, I'm not going to tell, and you've already been a shooter or whatever the case may be, since you've been 10, 11 years old and you're dropping bodies, like in the case of some of these kids, like you're not going to get through to those guys. But I think, you know, if you implement that shit early, yeah, you can really make, you know, a strong case to change some people. And the ones that do change, man, good for them, man. Because when it come down to men, young boys who are going to be growing to men, you got to be tough on them, man. Like a male figure has to be present, bro. Has to be. Hell yeah, the cops gonna shoot their dog though. Like real spill though, it's crazy to me, you know, because I'm a dog lover too. But it just trips me out how some people, you know, care more about a dog or a cat than they care more about a human being. And I understand the loyalty of an animal or whatever, but when we start putting, you know, a dog's rights before a human's right, because you know what trips me out. There are millions of people around this world that are willing to go out and fucking save dogs off of the street, feed them, you know, take them in, make sure they get in shelters and all of this thing, but they pass by motherfucking homeless niggas every day in fucking DC sleeping in front of the White House and they not offering them no food. They ain't offering them nothing. They just trying to get them motherfuckers clean needles. Ain't that some shit? And then if you look at what is it, double A, APC or whatever, uh, Like them motherfuckers, what do they do? AASP, AASCP, or whatever the fuck it's called, the pet joint. Them motherfuckers do shit like, yo, a child's life is worth less than a dog's life in donations. People genuinely treat animals better than they treat human beings. Like, yo, I don't know if that's an indoctrinated thing based on whatever is built in the subconscious through whatever you going through in life or whatever you're digesting mentally or watching on TV, but that is pretty disturbing to me because I see it all the time. Like, yo, the post office I go through, yo, this shit, yo, the post office I got to go to up the street from my house, yo, this shit is smack in one of the worst hoods and one of the worst neighborhoods where I live at. Now, ain't no street lights and nothing out there, but you'll see 2 or 3 motherfucking cars parked over there feeding about 50, 60 fucking feral cats. But it's homeless dudes right up the street that you won't even drop off a fucking bag of fucking Doritos. I just find that shit a strange practice, man. Could imagine if they tried Beyond Scared Straight with the teenage Tyson. Man, look, man, he went through those programs too. And honestly, that's the program. That's the type of program that saved his life being in juvie. He saw the guy that worked in there, and he was he boxed. He was a boxing instructor, and that's what got him the custom model. So, like I said, those type of systems, believe it or not, and you know why these libtards are trying to fucking defund the police and shit like that, acting like police are necessary. Like, you're gonna lose that type of fundage, and there ain't that many programs out here willing to help kids anyway. Shit. Think about, what I'm saying? Think about the trauma of the mental male mind when it comes to dealing with women, wives, and all of that stuff, running off with the kids, parental isolation they put against men. A man literally took out his wife and his baby mother based off of parental isolation she was having from one child, got in an argument with the mother of the child he was about to have, and she said she was going to do some shit like that and keep the kid, and he just lost his shit, wigged out, killed every single person that was killed the baby mama, then rode over to the mother of the 2 children that he already had, waited for her to get home, and as soon as he walked through the door, blew her brains out. Before he did that, he spoke and explained why he did it on live. And what I'm speaking on here is there's only one center in the entire United States, 2, no more than 2, but I definitely know there's only 1 or 2, no bullshit, that helps men that have dealt with mental abuse and trauma when it comes to women and all of that shit. Because men, we always got to keep that shit moving, keep it on the up and up. Motherfuckers will take your kids, women will take 80% of your coin and all of that shit, and you just got to deal with it and stay on the up and up, man. And there ain't nothing, and they don't go out their way to look out for us at all. Everything in the system is built to hurt us but help them, and the system is completely broken because the child support system, don't even get me started on that shit is hella broken. So if you take everything away from the guy already and he can barely make his bills and it's going to the woman, then on top of that, you take his license, so now he can't get to work. Then you take his income because he can't make the payments properly because he's got to worry about his bills and got to be able to take care of himself too. Then you lock him up and you throw him in jail after you go through those 3 processes. Okay, how is that helping the child? I don't think it's helping him at all. But shit, man, my shit about to crash on y'all, man. So I think, man, we had a pretty fucking great live tonight, man. We're gonna pick this shit back up tomorrow. And I think I'm gonna just go ahead and break down and just, man, stop bullshitting with it, man. And I'm just gonna buy the whole fucking the year of this shit so I can have my fucking RGR branding and shit in the back, man. But yeah, man, great conversations, man. Once again, everybody stay out here, stay safe, stay militant, man. Watch how you move. Understand that it's us against them. Just honor the game of boxing, man. And just stay safe, man. The world is a fucking crazy place, man. Just remember y'all motherfuckers, the stars. Continue to shine like one, man. This is Reaper Gang Radio. I appreciate all my Reapers. James Jameson, Miguel, JD, you know what I mean? Gotti. Who else? Who else in here? Spartan, Joker, or Joe Boxer, my bad. Mickey Dub. Red Glove, man, all y'all boys have a good, safe night, man. As we always say at the end of the shit, it costs you nothing to pay a nigga no mind. And as always, man, It's the motherfucking boss. Oh yeah, man, my guy, man, Nick Harmer, salute, man. And my bro always supporting, man. Look, man, yeah, man, definitely catch the playback, man. We're gonna go live tomorrow. I'm gonna make sure I set a time, man. So hopefully, and next time I do the live, man, I'm gonna chat with all of y'all and get a roundabout understanding about what time works best for y'all, so y'all all can catch the live, you know what I'm saying, at a good time, so like everybody can be involved. So I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying, figure out what time works out for everybody based on what part of the world everybody lives in, man, so we can really pull this thing together, man, because this shit don't work without all of us, you know, interacting with the shit. So respect to all, peace and many blessings, man. It's the motherfucking boss. Respect.